Welcome back.
Hello.
We have returned.
Welcome back, everybody. Did we all make it?
Continued adventures. We have all made it.
We've all made it back.
We've all returned here now.
Yes, we have returned. That means we pick up where we left off. Bo, what are we doing?
All right. Well, you're in the subway rail car as it churns down the path. Albert hops up onto his seat, takes his feet into two hands, and puts one of his toenails into his mouth and begins filing his toenail.
I have some questions about our actual little subway car that haven't been relevant till now, I don't think.
Sure.
How much space between, if you were outside of the car, between like where the car would be and the wall? Like, is there room to get up against, or is it like a tight space?
It's a tight spot. You maybe have a 2-3 feet max, depending on the location of the tunnel.
And as we were cranking around here, how fast does it seem to go? Like, is it
Not particularly fast, maybe
Okay.
10 miles an hour.
okay?
It just trucks along at a very slow pace. This isn't like a city subway. It goes like, "Brow." It's more like a local rail for. Would be concerned for the safety of its passengers. It does not go fast.
Right. So if you wanted to catch it, you could pretty much run after it and catch up eventually, right?
Yeah, if you ran, you have to run a pretty good clip, but yes, it can be run and caught up with.
I have hatched a masterful plan.
Okay. I googled Canadian data center.
Okay, does it bring power to the people of Canada?
Yep. It could
Really?
probably possibly. Seems to be the right place, we'll say.
Okay. Well, my master plan is that we go back to the executive offices. We grab the snail, we put it on the train, and we send it speeding back to the security checkpoint, where it'll crash, opening up the snail into an ape, and the security ape will attack our shadowy visitors.
I freaking love it. I love it. And then they'll still think the ape was in there the whole time. And it wasn't us.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's a very aggressive option.
I like the idea. If we're going to head backwards towards what I think might be the place we need to go, which is this data center. Are you proposing we walk it, send the train, and then walk our way back? Otherwise, we would have to ride the loop one more time.
Oh, exactly. We would put it in whatever gear would put it towards the security center, send it on its way for a crash course, and unleash security ape upon them.
I love it. Nash will smile as if agreeing with this idea wholeheartedly. Can't talk him out of it at this point.
Well, it definitely takes care of the snail that's going through the back of my mind still. I wouldn't mind going and dealing with it.
Do you have to maintain a range for your polymorph?
No, just an hour.
Okay.
Unless it took damage.
As you were. Sorry, just an impertinent question.
All right. So we are heading to the mist-free zone of the Green Line.
And then we're going to go to the executive offices, get the snail, and then put it on the train and walk back. How long of a walk is that? I'm not sure what the scale is on all of this.
Walk back where? To the office?
If we were to foot it from the executive offices back to the North Transfer Station, how long a walk is that?
Your guesstimate might be 30 minutes to 45. Depends on how quickly you traverse. Could jog.
All right. So if we are going to walk or jog back from the executive offices, we're looking at about 30 to 45 minutes. Is everyone still good with that?
Yes.
All right, let's head back to the executive offices then.
Can we
I see.
actually put the thing in turn, or is there a thing we did at the turning
Junction?
the junction?
Yeah, there's a mechanism on the train that allows you to call ahead and to change it. To, you know, like you can change the chink, chink, the tracks.
Cool.
You can control that from the train.
But it's on the train.
Right, but we'd press it ahead of time because that's the next stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would work.
we can always mage hand it too. Just bring from outside.
I love the mage hand idea, but this is already pretty wacky.
All right, so we're going back to the executive offices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the train chugs along. Chunk, 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 goes by Laboratory C, which is closed in. You make it to the south transfer station, and the purple mist is extra thick now in this area. And you see lots of skeletons sitting at the transfer station, sitting in various seats. It's a scene of death and decay. You move on past it, past storage, shipping and receiving, Gordon Shuttle Bay, Laboratories A. The traversal of the entire track, once again taking maybe 20 minutes. As you move near the Laboratories B and the North Transfer Station, the mist fades away as you've marked it on your map. And it becomes pretty cold in this area, you notice. You notice that the temperature here is colder. You make your way back down through administration, which is caved in, and then to the executive offices. And you pull the brake. As the train comes to a halt, you hear very faintly, and red lights flashing from the doors into the office area.
As we go to get off of the train, I'm gonna look at Hope and Nash. Is there anything that you think we should do while we're back in there to maybe see if, confirm at least, that what you did worked?
They never
Is there any
gave
way to
they never
confirm
gave
it?
instructions for confirmation. They only said
We,
how to do it.
we could maybe check the console.
The one that we put the device in?
Maybe where we got the quest from Darwin. We could ask.
Oh, it is possible he's still there. We don't want to open a rift to more trouble though.
But without
Well,
putting the headsets on, that would be the way to do it, I think.
Can we
If you have a way to confirm it, I think it's important that we know. Like I said, we're talking about the fate of the world. Might be good to know that we can take a nap if we need to.
I mean, we sure could try. Maybe close your eyes, put the headset on, and ask if he's there.
Not the headset, Nash, the console.
I mean the console. Yeah, but to do the console, we have to put the headset on.
No, he's talking about the screen that you typed in.
Oh, not the... Oh, sorry. Okay. I thought you meant the thing I put the drive into to get the
Yeah,
data corrupted data on there.
There's a bit of confusion, but I think that's what was meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we could check it. What's the harm?
Well, do you all want to take care of that while, Forel, you and I go snail hunting?
Let's do it.
All right, so you guys re-enter the office area, disembarking from the train and moving back into the zone. The alarms are now loud. You hear ring, 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 ring. So you make your way back in. The flumps still follow you, Varel. The little creatures. As you make your way in. All right, how do you guys want to do this? So it's Varel is solo with John or Stanley, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Hope is making her way to the console with
With Nash.
Nash.
Mhm.
All right. All right. So what happens with that event? You quickly enter in, make your way back to the room. Nash and Varel see the console is there, as you last left it. Last question typed in there, I think, was, "Do you know where the girl is?"
Man, I don't even know what to look for. Can I ask, what is it just a keyboard in front of me? Any prompts? Anything?
There's a keyboard and a green on black, like MS-DOS style screen. Underscore is blinking on an empty line.
There's so many questions we might have. How to turn off the alarm? Did it work? What's up?
I would like to type the word help and hit enter.
Okay. You type help and hit enter, and it says, please type help and then one of the following command words in order to understand how it's used.
All right. Help space alarm.
Okay, and then pauses for a moment, then a little list appears and it says, use the following syntax. It says alarm, space, 0 for on, 1 for off, space, and then there's a bunch of switches like -A, -R, -S, -V that does various things.
All right. I'm going to do the 0. So alarm space 0.
Okay.
Enter.
That turns that there's no effect. You type it in, press enter, and it says the alarms are now activated.
I thought 0 was off.
1 is
No.
off.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. I misheard you. I would
So you
have
retype
done
it
the 1.
again.
Yeah, I'm not turning it on
And do a
again.
1 after you notice your error.
Yeah.
And then it says, please enter a password to disable the alarms. A little colon and then a little underscore.
Hope. I don't know any
I don't-
pass. I don't know one.
I don't know. We just started talking to the thing.
Shit.
And before you are about to type, little asterisks begin appearing on the roam. And then enter is pushed from some unknown location, and the alarms go. And the room falls silent.
I didn't type that.
I was over here the whole time.
That's ghost typing.
Maybe it's Darwin.
Maybe.
Ask him. Ask him. Did it work? Did we do it?
Wait, who are we asking?
He was the one typing to you through the keyboard.
Oh, right. Should I type? I mean, I can type that. It's not an actual command, but maybe he'll reply to it. So I'll type.
Yeah.
I'll type that and hit enter.
All right, you type what? Darwin? Did you do that, or what did you
Yeah,
type?
I'll say, Darwin, did you? Is this you? Did you type the password? That's what I'll say.
And a little time goes by, and then a little typing begins to appear again and says, "Not sure who Darwin is. This is Charles Dickens."
Shit.
But yeah, it says.
So Charles Dickens is in there still. The Illithid. Okay, well, he's the one that gave us the thing. So I'll say, I'll type, did the data transfer work? Enter.
A little typing appears back and says, "It did." And then it says, "No longer type on this machine. We may become compromised." And then the machine's power just powers off.
Well, now I can't type on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess it worked then.
We
And then
did
you
it.
see a little spark come out of a wall unit on the side, and then a disk drive just flies out. It barely just hits the wall behind you. And it's on fire on the ground.
A disk drive?
I guess some sort of box-like shape
Okay.
of computery business fires out automatically, just ejects from the wall.
Okay.
You're not sure what it is.
I don't know what that means, but I think it worked. Should we take the drive? I'm going to take the drive.
It's on fire.
It is on fire.
Is it on fire? I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, it's on
I'm going to
fire.
blow on it.
Okay. You add oxygen to the fire, increasing the size of the flames.
Oh, brother.
Lick it.
I
can
don't know what
step
to
on
do.
it.
Do we have anything we can douse it with?
Just put it on the ground. I'll step on it.
You don't have a cantrip that produces anti-fire business.
Well, yeah, but then you'll freeze it. I don't think that's good. All right,
I'm fairly certain whatever it is damaged due to the fire, but okay.
All right, well, no, that's fine then. I'll ray of frost it, just a little bit of, just freeze out the fire, and
It
then.
comes out of your hand and you freeze out the fire, and that fire douses.
All right,
There's a broken-looking piece of equipment with ice on it.
I will put it in my pocket. Actually, I'll inspect it first. Do I see anything about it that matters?
I mean, it looks like a case with microchips in it. You're not sure what they do.
Hope you know what these are. You make shit all the time out of stuff like this.
No, I know how to make cars, but they don't really have these things.
All right, I think we better keep it just in case, and I'll pocket it.
All right.
And
So
then
you have you can put like a burnt disk drive on your inventory.
Adding it now.
The burnt computer disk drive.
Burnt.
All right.
Computer
Now
disk
to
drive.
Varel and Stanley.
So,
Make your-
my goal would be to go back to where I had put it down at the end of the fight and
Uh-huh.
look for a little mucus trail from that location.
All right. Survival. Varel, are you assisting with this?
Yes.
All right. You can roll with advantage because of the assistance.
All right. Oh boy, they're neither very good. That's 13.
I will take over this job of snail searching out of the way.
All right. You
Stanley.
push Stanley out of the way as you look around quizzically.
18.
Okay, you see a small. You can sense. You don't see it, but you sense it with your smell. That a snail trail, is leading underneath a floorboard where there's a little gap in the wall.
All right. Is it liftable?
The wall is a wall. The floorboard is liftable, so you can lift the floorboard just tearing it from the wall. You see, there's a little hole in the wall. About, yay big. It's definitely got into the wall.
Okay.
Can we go around to the other side of the wall and see if it popped out the other side?
Sure. You make your way into the main hallway just to look to see where it might have gone through, but you see no openings in the wall.
Well, any ideas, Varel?
Fate has conspired against us.
I mean, eventually it's going to turn back into a giant ape in the wall somewhere.
It'll be in the wall.
Be a security ape in the wall.
It broke through a wall earlier. I assume it'll continue its rampage. Either way, we get to keep the train.
Do you not want to take apart the wall?
Do you want to take apart the wall, Varel?
Get the feeling that the wall would somehow deal 1 point of damage in being taken apart, and we'd find ourselves in a worse position.
Perhaps you could take it apart carefully.
Careful is not my job. Voice.
I'm sorry. I didn't expect this to produce quite the challenge. You're like, well, I guess it's gone.
It's gone. No,
In the wall, it's gone.
never see it again.
But honestly, I do feel like the chances of ruining that roll are too high for the amount of damage we would take fighting the ape further
Yeah, I
if
think
we
you're
were to
right.
activate it.
Better to just let
I just wanted to add a bit of fun. You guys can find it easily. I just was trying to make it dramatic.
Oh,
This is like, because it's just gonna be you find the snail. It's there. I was just trying to have a bit of fun with you guys. I feel bad now. You guys are like, oh crap, it's in the wall. We're done.
Well, they just know how tough the last monkey was. They don't want to fight that again. I wouldn't either. At least not now, not in our condition.
All right. The snail now moves outside of the wall.
Oh, we're trying to get it or anything.
I wasn't trying to just break your spirits here. I'm just like,
Two
Have a bit
sad
of
players leave. The DM feels guilty, and the snail gets
like,
pushed like a kid not wanting to go on stage.
Our
in a
cool plan
play.
is ruined because I put the snail in a wall.
Oh yeah, I mean this is a metal facility wall thing. I believed you, but if the snail comes out, then the snail comes out, and we retrieve the snail.
The snail wanders out of a different hole in the wall, a few feet away.
Look.
Snail. Fortune smiles on us again. I shall taunt the skies more often. Perhaps there are gods.
Alright, I reach up and pop the snail off the wall. I don't know why I pictured that it was up, but pop it off the wall and got a snail.
All right, you now have the snail. Are you sure it's the same snail? It's the same snail. That's fine. I'm just kidding.
There's been a
You're
lot
like
of
the
snails
angel
running
devil
around.
on the shoulder here.
Nature check.
Alright,
All right, do
make
nature
our
check.
way. Okay, let's see.
15.
Varel knows it's the same snail.
All right.
Okay.
John doesn't. Or Stan
Hey,
doesn't.
I didn't say the result of mine.
You
and
made
it
it
was-
sound. I was
It was
reading.
a
your-
19 for the
oh,
record.
Oh,
so
wow.
you know even better. Okay, so everyone meets back up, discusses how their adventure went separately.
So, what did you learn? We found a snail. We kind of lucked into it, but we found it.
It was in the
And
wall, and then it emerged again.
I think it's still mad at Varel for some reason, and I think it was coming to attack him again.
We were concerned about the integrity of the wall, and if it might damage the snail from the inside. Our delay is sad. I apologize.
We received a message from the Illithid who sent us on our quest in the first place, at least claiming to be him, on the console, saying that we successfully did what needed to be done. It told us to contact him no more via that device, and pooped out a part of a computer into the wall, which I then doused with ice and brought with us in case we need it for something, and I don't know if we will. But apparently, we'll have mission a success on the other side.
So that's good. That means we have more time before Vexiad can do what he needs to do.
Yes.
I believe so.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how much time we have left on this little guy, so I think we should probably send him on his way.
Agreed.
Make our way back to the train.
All right, so everyone's in agreement. They leave the executive offices and head back to the train. And sitting outside the train, filing his toenails, is Albert.
Yes.
You guys are back already. I'm starting to get the heebie-jeebies. It's pretty scary in this place. Look at this mist. And he blows the mist. Now the mist comes up to his eyes, so it's a little more irritating for him, you imagine.
Do you have any idea what the mist is?
I think it's excrement from the Illithids that are here.
Oh, great.
The urgency of the snail, Stanley.
Right. I'm gonna go get on the train. Hope if you can help me getting it set the way we need to, and then we can mage hand it on its way once they're all set.
Yeah, we'll do.
What's
And hope we'll
incredible
get
is
on
it smells.
start. Oh, she'll just start fiddling with the thing to make sure it curves into where the bunker
Okay,
is. Where
there's like a panel there where you just see that you set the signal up for left to
Right.
right.
Stick the little snail right on the dash by the front window.
Okay. Stick the snail on the dash. You set it so that it'll turn. You hear a bam as an electrical signal as it sort of pulses down the railroad towards the dark that you can't see but know is there. And then you hear bing, 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 as it goes down the track. Oh, good. You're gonna send this train crashing. That's great. But wait, how are we gonna get around?
The old-fashioned way.
Hoofing it.
Oh man, I'm glad I got wings.
All right, leave the train. Mage hand it forward if I can see through the window,
Yeah,
the
you
front
can.
window.
Mm-hmm. Put the mage hand, it moves it forward, and the train goes at 10 miles an hour, just going. Curse to everyone, it's not moving very fast.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
It's on its way. It's
So
gonna,
the
it's gonna
train-
go
you
to
hear the
whatever
train go-
adventure it's gonna do.
And then it disappears from view, and you can only just hear it moving.
All right, well, we better get moving because if anybody does decide to use that train, it's going to take them only about the same amount of time to get back around to us. So we want to make sure we beat anybody who might ride that train the other way.
All
Let's
right,
walk.
so there's about a 2-foot drop down into the path where the train is going to have to be. You guys begin your walk, a long walk, and this area becomes very dark very quickly. And with the extra mist and stuff, now that you're lower to the ground, nobody can really see anything ahead of them. You only have a sense of where the state train path goes because of just your very, very close vision. The passage is narrow. There are no lights illuminating the rail.
It's going to be hard to tell when we actually get where we need to go unless someone can fly above the mist and maybe let us know where we are at any given moment.
Sounds like a job for Man Baby.
Hey,
Yep, that's what I meant.
Get up there.
Definitely talking about him and nobody else on the team.
Nope. I ain't going dragon right now. No way.
Or any other methods they might have to fly.
Oh, I have 10-foot flight. Yeah, but that's not. Maybe I misunderstood what I ended up
you
getting
have a
there, Bo.
fly speed of 10 feet. You can go as high as you want.
Oh, I thought it was just bursts of flight, like I could.
You float. You don't fly. It's slow. It's only 10 feet, but you can.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Definitely
would have been more
gear it up to
excited about
fly.
that. I really thought it was like a thing that just extended my movement during a turn or something. Like
No.
like you need to make
You
a
don't
big
move
jump.
very fast. It's only 10 feet of movement, of fly movement.
Right, but I can get up high where I can keep a lookout, which is John's whole point.
You sure can.
All right,
You
I'll
can pop up every now and then and just let us know where we're at.
yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you make your way down the passageway with Nash and Alvert also coming up to help with the flying as you guys make your way down the passage. 40 minutes goes by. You don't hear any sounds. It's deathly quiet. You've been in the dark for 40 minutes. No one's illuminated any lights. The passageway begins to clear more and more as you progress of purple mist, and it's gotten colder and colder. Eventually, you do see emergency lighting appear in the passage ahead, and you know that you're close to the North Transfer Station at this point.
Okay.
It's coming up. You continue walking down that area until the two railways meet and the passage becomes wider, and then you get to a point where you're able to jump up on top of the platform. Do you do that, or do you stay in the rail track?
Nope. Get up and
Yeah.
up and
Yeah,
out.
I'll lead the way.
Okay, you climb on up. There's nothing here, but you can see your breath. As you stop in this area and breathe out, you notice that your breath is coming out, especially Varel. He has a big mouth, so it's like there's like a lot of warm breath coming out. And given that you're sort of have a soul of fire, generally speaking, there's steam billowing from in between all of his scales.
That's
Badass.
cool.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like a fountain of steam. Everyone else is breathing air. It's cold.
At any point during our walk, did we hear security or anything? A distant.
Didn't make anything out.
Okay.
Security. Security Monkey's the greatest thing this campaign's ever produced. I love him.
Security.
Bokbok's great. Freaking Dip Tac was great. A lot of great
That's
characters.
Tic-Tac.
A lot of great characters, but man, Security Monkey is my current bomb. I love that
He
guy.
was fresh as hell.
Yeah.
Tic-Tac.
He really was. He was a
So no train here, right? At the green station?
There are no trains.
All right. Well, then
The passage like moves in two, so basically you get up on the platform and just turn right around and head down the other passage.
Cool.
Clear of mist. There's no light down this way. You guys are headed that way?
Proceed.
Proceed.
All right. So you begin making your way down this new rail line. It looks the same as the other one. It's black and dark, but you don't need to fly anymore because you can. There's no purple mist that's sort of clouding your vision. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Security.
Security.
Ooh, natty 20.
Ooh.
Okay.
9.
Did you say saving throw?
Yeah.
Saving throw.
22.
17.
Okay. So nobody falls, but
Whoa, that 9 did
You-
good. Hope. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, you did 9?
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
thought you said 19. Okay.
Oh,
Hope
I
fall.
wish.
Oh.
Hope you fall to the ground.
Sorry,
and
I
take-
shouldn't have said anything. I thought.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you
Crap.
Okay.
slip and fall and knock your butt on the ground. And you touch the ground with your flesh hand, and you notice there's a sheet of ice on the ground now. And everyone can feel the cold emanating from the ground.
I hope I'll stand up.
I'm gonna
It's
float.
icy.
I'm gonna float 1 foot above the ice. Thank you.
Okay, so you float above the ice,
Yep.
not slip.
Gonna World of Warcraft this shit.
Walking from here on out will be difficult terrain,
Not for the floating guy,
so you'll be moving at half speed
except for floater.
as the ground, except for Floater,
Who's
who's
moving
He's
significantly
moving,
slower.
he's moving even slower than everyone else because his floating is not very fast. But he's not. He doesn't have the discomfort of trying to make sure he doesn't fall as he navigates the terrain.
Just picture him getting left off in the distance, being like, haha, joke's on you.
Yeah. See you later, sucker.
You make your way for another 10, 20 minutes down the passage until you see a light illuminating a rail car station, sort of 2 feet above from the passage you're in. There's a set of doors, steel, on the platform. There's a few benches, but it's a very small platform. You see it up ahead. You reckon this would be the place marked Archives on that map you saw. The Welcome Center.
All right. You said the door is closed?
Door is closed. Does not appear to be caved in.
Any panels or anything visible from where we're standing?
Not from where you're standing, but a closer inspection might yield results.
All right. I'll jump up there.
Okay. Varel jumps up on top of the platform. You know, it's about 10 feet by 30 feet, this subway platform. There's some benches there. Doesn't look like a major thoroughfare of any stretch. Towards the back is a set of steel doors. And on the right is a panel. Looks like it's used throughout the station. Looks pretty typical. Looks like you put a key card up there. There's also a little round sphere thing at the top. Looks a lot like the door that you used in Caervalon to first access this place and get to the funicular.
Oh, a door authority door.
Mm.
Crap.
Who's the door authority?
We've got a bad history with doors, is all.
Sounds like demon hijinks.
But this isn't where we need to stop, yeah?
No, unless we are wanting to take our rest first or press on. I think that is something we'd need to decide. I can tell just looking at him, Nash is in pretty poor shape.
Door. Are you active?
Insight check, please.
8.
The door doesn't move or do anything. Your voice echoes down the hallway a little bit.
We are brimming with acid and demand entry.
Intimidation roll, please.
19.
Oh,
The door panel contorts a little bit before you, like it's raising an eyebrow. And some of the buttons appear to lean left and lean right and lean left, and then it moves back into place.
You will find us in the door most wanted.
A little opening in the metal says, "There's nothing for you here, buddy.
I see.
Over long now."
What do you hide behind you, door?
It's not how this works.
I love him. He's great.
Just keep that acid away from me, okay?
Oh, I don't know about that. We are full of acid, leaking the acid substances. You may find us less accommodating if you do not answer our questions.
Look, I read the Door Street Journal. I heard about what you did.
The
I'm sure you
Door
have.
Street Journal.
Just move along. Just leave me be. Let me do my job in peace. I'm a working man.
That is
I
funny.
got a wife and kids.
What?
I don't want to have acid on me. Please, I beg you.
I'll turn back to the group. It's another door. Has secrets once again. But this is not where we need to go.
I mean, we could ignore it and just keep moving on.
Or it's called archives, and I'll turn back to the door. Which means it holds secrets.
It's not for me to know what's behind the door. It's just for me to keep it closed unless I need to open it.
If you ever wish to see your windows again, you will tell us what's inside.
I swear, I don't know what's inside, man.
Poor excuse for a door that knows not what it protects.
Okay, hold on. I need to ask this door a question because I need to understand how this works. In a perfect world, a world where, let's say, we weren't on the Door Authority's bad side, what would a person have to be or do to get your approval to pass through?
Look, man, that's above my pay grade, okay? Just
Well, surely you know what you need to open up. What are
What
your
are doors
rules?
paid in?
I
Knobs.
need a key card, all right, with the right authority on it. But we know who you are, and that you trick doors, and that you abuse doors. I'm not supposed to give you. You even lie to doors.
What if we had the key card that you needed?
I'm still not supposed to let you through because you're on the wanted list.
But you'd have an excuse. We would have legit credentials, and you would have to open. That's your one job. And you could say, I didn't know who they were. They had the card.
Persuasion, please.
We do have the executive door card. The
Yeah.
card from executives.
That would be a 26.
Okay, look, just swipe your card and get in here, all right?
Sweet.
All right, I'm gonna take out the card we found in the executive offices and
For
swipe
Terra
it.
Mebat.
Yeah, Teramibat's card.
All right, you swipe the card. Was that a fart sound?
No. It was the sound of a card getting accepted.
Okay. the
Or
card
a
is
fart
accepted,
sound. Sorry.
And you hear a whoosh, a very cool sci-fi sound. And the two panel doors open up, and the door mumbles, "Have a nice day and get out of here, okay, kids?"
Thank you, door.
My favorite door. What was your name? Do you have
Please don't.
Do you have a name?
It doesn't even want to tell you.
I mean,
So you know,
you were very kind to us. If anyone ever asked, we would give you a good rating as a door.
Nash, I don't
need
think
a
it.
rating.
I don't think it would mean the same coming from us. Let's just let him be.
I'm gonna call you Dory, and then we'll walk away.
It's very funny, sir. We'll just go on. Great.
I
You guys are
love
great.
that door.
What a weird thing. This is Albert as he makes his way into the next room. And the room opens up into a small, maybe 30 foot by 30 foot area. It's got a counter on it and a couple of terminals facing on the inside of the counter and 2 doors to the left or right.
So we're looking at like when you walk into a library, like the sort of front computer.
I mean, it's a reception area. Yeah.
Oh,
There's
okay,
this-
gotcha. They're not
a library
facing
is a
us.
good analog. They're not facing you. They'd be facing the inside of the area that has the, what did I say it was? The counter? Yeah. There's nobody in this room, however. The room is immaculate. Looks kind of, I mean, there's some dust and dirt places, but as you enter in, lights come on automatically. And it's bright. You guys have been used to looking at the dark. The floor is white, tiled, and the walls are made of a white substance as well. Drywall of some kind, perhaps, or you're not quite sure.
I'll check the door to the left.
Okay. You go to move to one of the doors, and the door doesn't do anything, remains closed. It looks much like the last door you went through. Splits open like a automatic door, but it's not moving as you get close to it.
Go take a look at the computer panels. See if they're on or anything.
None of them seem to have any power to them. Just
Excellent.
2 computer devices, 3 computer devices there on the counter.
Then we're safe to assume that as our destination gains power, so will archive, and we shall return here.
Seems like a good idea. Just to make sure, I'll check the one door that nobody has checked.
It doesn't open either.
All right. Do we press on or do we take a rest?
Are we safe? I mean, I feel like we're safe here. We should rest here.
Depends on Dory.
Oh, good point. We should probably have a watch rotation.
Is there enough room in here to drop the dome?
You can squeeze. Yeah, it's a 10 foot by 10 foot dome, right?
It's a 10-foot radius dome.
It'll be a cramped fit, but you might be able to get it in here.
I don't like it. We got a door that's gonna give us away if anything comes by. And technically, we can mana bar this biz. And if we do get in a fight, we can blow everything we've got. Because I think this is our only rest down here. So let's do data center as my vote.
Press on and see what we find.
Yeah, and if we do get in a fight, we've got scrappiness behind us. We can pull it off. But
Okay.
and it'll all be my fault if we all die. So I'll accept responsibility.
Well, I mean, I think Nash is really the only one in any actual danger, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so you exit out of the door back into this railway. Jump on down and continue making your way down the passage. I need everyone. Well, you jump down carefully. We don't have to do any saves, but you remember that the patch. There's ice patches on the ground. It's very icy. And as you continue down back into the darkness, you notice that the walls become slick with ice. That the ice on the ground gets even thicker. And after 10 more minutes of traversing down this very icy passage, you see light again at the end of the tunnel. And there's a small little station there that you can see off to the right of the rail station. But the thing that you notice the most is that behind the station is a large set of doors. These doors are large. They're about 40 feet high. They look to be made of steel. But the thing that's most remarkable about it is they're trapped between a thick sheet of ice that coats all around the walls. Albert speaks up and says, "This is what I mean. How are we supposed to get in here? There's a thick sheet of ice on that door.
You think there's something behind it?
Whatever a data center is, that's what's behind there."
Varel could flame up and hug the door. Melt it, perhaps. Might take time.
Yeah, I'll hold a hand up near it, not touching the ice, and see if I can melt a little bit of it.
Okay, as you move your hand close to the ice, you do see that it begins to sweat, and water begins to drop down. And as the water gets lower to the ice, it refreezes and begins making sort of a freezing ramp at the bottom.
Seems it is perpetually cold. The parts I melt only cause ice in other places. We would have to make strong attack against it in order to melt it all at once.
Well, I
Perhaps
know you and Nash both are capable of such things.
True.
Maybe fire is not the answer, but breaking it is.
Do you have a method of breaking the ice?
No, I hate violence. I abhor it.
Then what happens in your chamber of anuses?
Well, it's psychological torment. I mean, I'm okay with that, but I don't really like punching and kicking and cutting and dismembering. Not my cup of tea. Remember, torture isn't violence. Torture is an art.
What are the doors made out of?
The steel.
Oh. Yes.
I am going to cast heat metal on the entirety of the door.
Can you cast it through the ice?
Let me see.
Is it a touch range?
Choose a manufactured metal object that you can see within range.
Okay, perfect. So you're going to heat the metal. Now, the magic of the heat metal means that it doesn't melt, right? It doesn't bring it to its... It's enough to damage whatever's touching it or heat
Right.
it up, but not to melt the door or the armor or whatever itself.
Right. But in theory, I would think with the entirety of the surface now going boiling hot, and I can continuously allow this heat to pulse for a minute straight, I would think that that would be enough time to allow that water to, when it refreezes, be away from the door instead of on it.
Okay, so it's a very large door. I don't know, but I would say one of the doors would be an object. So, okay. You're going to cast heat metal?
Yep.
Okay, you cast heat metal and the door underneath begins glowing red. And you can feel that the door is definitely heating up, but it's hard to tell what's going on the other side of the door that you can't see. But on the side that you can see, you begin to hear as little cracks and hairline fractures begin opening up in the ice sheet in front of the door. It looks like it's going to slide down, and you're all standing in front of it.
Gonna jump out of the way.
Okay. Do you have to maintain a range? It's concentration up to a minute.
Yeah, concentration. I have to
You
be
can only-
within 60 feet of it.
You're going to have a hard time finding safety from this.
Right, because this is the end of the tunnel, basically, right? There's no train here, yeah?
No train.
Are the doors over the track? Like, there might be a train behind
No,
it?
no. So there's a subway station, which you can see into the ice. There's a rail station where you would get off and sit down on chairs, and then the door behind it, it's super large. but the ice is so thick that you can't even make it onto the off the tracks.
Okay.
And the metal's now being heated, and the ice sheet is starting. First ice sheet sort of slides off. I need everyone to roll a dexterity save, please.
Shit.
Jeez.
My worst stat.
22.
17.
20 not natural.
8.
All right, you take 7 points of damage. Everyone else dodges out of the way as a sheet of ice comes falling down from underneath, just slides down, and then it falls over like this, and people are able to jump out of the way. John, you take no damage, but a piece of it, like icicle, hits you in the noggin, Nash,
Great.
and nabs you for 7 bludgeoning damage. More ice begins to shake off.
I'm gonna not keep the spell going. This seems dangerous.
Okay, so as you let it go and it begins to cool off, this sheet of ice does come off. I need everyone to roll a saving throw. please.
Wait, I was gonna move out of the way before. There's nowhere I can really
Okay.
move though, right?
Well, no, you can move out of the way. Stanley's the only one that can't move out of the way.
Yeah, I'm
because
gonna
he's
move
maintained
back,
himself.
so I'm not. I don't need another rando hit.
You know what? That's fine. I'm a dexterous elf. Bring it on. And
You're gonna
I-
maintain it.
I said that with a lot of confidence because I rolled a 22 on my save.
Okay.
13.
All right, perfect. As this comes off, everyone is able, now that they saw the first one, are able to more safely move down, take no damage. Stanley, you stay within range, but pretty soon a river of water just begins, just really cold, filling up the area, the railway, and you're now sort of knee deep in water as it's just flushing out like a giant waterfall from underneath the layers of ice. It's very cold, and there's a chance it refreezes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, keep it going, Stanley. Wait. Hang on. If the ice is attacking us,
That's a good question so far.
haven't attacked a hostile or taking damage since my last turn. Okay, cool. All right, so I will enter my rage and I will attack the wall, and I'm gonna help Stanley break up pieces of ice that would come flying at us, tank the
Okay,
pieces
so
that fly at the team.
Okay, so I wasn't really planning on doing a combat turn order thing, but you want to be basically punching ice every turn?
Yes, and I'll be flame bursting, and
And does that maintain your rage? By doing
if it's
damage?
considered a hostile, otherwise I'll be tanking the hits from the wall to block it from Nash and Hope and
Okay,
Stanley.
perfect. So you'll have to take hits because it's not hostile, it's ice, it's benign. Yeah, so you're going to continue maintaining it for the full minute, Stanley, after all?
Wait, we're doing a minute of this?
Well,
There's that much
yes.
ice?
It's like 20 feet thick of ice. A massive sheet of ice on the door, covering the entire rail station.
I mean, even at
Like, assuming all ice was repurposed and flown off the wall, it would fill the entirety of the railway in solid form. In liquid form, it might run off, way farther down.
but that would be a minute of getting hit by ice,
Yeah.
which would be about
And
40 damage if we're lucky.
possibly
It
refreezing
possibly-
from the water.
It'll probably take more than a minute to heat metal through it, but you could do it. It's going to require more than one heat metal.
I see.
You've slot
I
off maybe
think-
2 feet of ice, and there's still 18 feet to go.
I think maybe we don't keep doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's also sweating. The ice is sweating a lot. And like I said, there's now like a knee deep of water on the ground, but it recedes quickly as it splooshes down the railway, the rail passage.
Yeah. I let go of the spell.
You let go of the spell, and the water sort of dissipates and refreezes on the ground. Not freezing you in or locking you in. It spreads out and moves down, but you've added new layers of ice to the ground below. There remains 18 feet between you and the door. Very clear ice, though. You can see through it quite well.
But the door is shut on the other side, right?
Well, I mean, the door is shut. There's no telling what's on the other side.
Right, just that even if we cleared the ice, there'd still be a shut door.
Is the door sentient? Should someone talk to the door, see if we just unfroze it from its long slumber?
You'd have to talk through the ice, which might be difficult, although not impossible.
I'll go, door! Like a few centimeters away from the ice.
Okay.
Respond if you're alive!
There's no response.
I think it's not one of the live doors.
Taunt it, threat it.
You're a dick! Nothing.
But with violence.
Oh. I'll smash at it hard with my staff.
Well, there's 18 feet of ice between you and the door.
Yeah. So I'll just whack
you
it.
Swat the staff, and a little piece of ice chips off, sprinkles onto the ground.
I'll look back at Pharrell and say, nothing. It's a dead
Could we-
door.
Break it apart somehow, the ice?
Like the famous Jim Morrison. I got that from the chat room. Sorry, chat. Give you credit. Get it? Dead door, get it? Too soon?
I mean,
what kind
the
of-
method we were using was breaking the ice just fine. The problem is it's all flying right at us.
Perhaps if we brought the laser guns.
Well, pretty sure that ship had sailed.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Any other ideas? We've got a wealth of fire we can throw at it for a time.
Does anyone have any explosives?
I have.
Look at Nash.
I see Nash's Scott got up from drawing into like, oh, let me check my big inventory.
Yeah, I got
See
shit.
what
I still have a lot of cool stuff. Like, I could pull off this portable ram finally. I don't know if that's going to be enough room here to swing it or
Oh.
make any difference.
That's not a bad idea.
I have no explosives, though. I just have that. I'm all out of rope. I got two 10-foot poles. A riding horse with saddlebags. We still got that. Some old cigarettes.
That's right, you said you would smoke those.
Yeah,
smoke
I
them
smoked
all
some
out.
of them. I didn't smoke them all. But we could try the ram. I'll suggest to the team. I don't know if we have. Well, I don't know. That's a lot of ice. If we have the strength for all of us to sort of grab a side and go.
I mean, what if we did that? What if we had Stanley melt it with the melt door business, and then Hope and I just slam the ice sheets as they came down with the portable ram?
I mean, it's a.
I mean, we can certainly try it.
And
see
Bo-
if that works.
Bo, I assume that the ram on this patch is like a handheld type ram. It's not like a machine or something, right?
Yeah, it's a ram like you see in medieval movies when they're breaching castle, right?
Okay.
Everyone sort of holds it. And
Okay, that's what I thought.
that's what I'm picturing.
I kind of pictured that too. I just wanted to make sure before we
I'm
pulled it
gonna
out.
read it because it's not really something I've looked at. So let's see. Wait, it's just a patch on your thing, right?
Yeah, it's just a patch I'd rip off and suddenly we'd have it.
Yeah, I think I might have an entry in D&D Beyond, but I'd have to look at it. So, but yeah,
I got
that's
it here.
4. Yeah,
So-
you do.
+4 to strength check, and if another character helps you wield it, you get advantage
Oh, cool.
for breaking down doors.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm willing to use it, and I'll tell the team that if they want.
A quick experiment. I will throw my Eye of Grosjean shield at the wall.
Okay. So you light your arm on fire, throw it at the wall.
Yep.
And, it hits it. There's an intense sense of heat as sparks fly and pieces of ice shoot out. It seems to be particularly effective, carving out a chunk of the ice, but you've maybe got, 3 or 4 feet deep in the wound that you've done. There's a bit of sweat from it melting a bit, but it's not really an intense sort of heat that's breaking it. You get a little chunk out. You might take
Yeah.
a couple days of doing that, assuming no new ice forms in the time.
Damn.
You would do that.
Days. All right. Cool.
You could see yourself eventually getting through, potentially, as long as your rate of destruction outpaced the rate of new ice being formed. You get the sense that something on the inside is very cold.
How long does the metal go?
A minute every time I cast it.
And we were doing a foot round.
Not exactly around, but we'll say, yeah, maybe 15 seconds. Got you through 2 feet. Pretty good clip.
3 rounds. So that'd leave us 7. So
I will make it
that'd be-
simple. A foot around. So 20 feet would be 20 rounds.
Okay, so we could do that in 2 casts. Do you have that ability?
I have one more second level slot, but I can cast that at higher levels. So I guess to answer your question directly, I have 4 more casts of it possible.
You got anything, Hope? Like a special ice hot bullet?
No, and I already summoned the
Oh.
last bullets for the day. And then I wiped out the lizard folk with the rocket.
Oh, right, the rocket. Yeah.
Someone break out a credit card and just start.
Can you turn me into a fire elemental?
I don't know.
I can only be a creature, and I don't have the spell power for
It can only
it
be
at
a
the moment.
beast, he means.
A beast,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I could fireball, but we would all die.
I mean, we could stand back.
Yeah, and I have sorcery points to protect people.
I think fireball doesn't target objects. It doesn't affect objects.
I'm reading right now. Bright Spigmas fire.
I think
around
it
the
does,
corners.
actually. I think that's probably wrong.
Hold on. Each
But I'd be
creature.
concerned.
No, it says each creature in a 20-foot radius, but it's
It
where
would
it's
affect
centered.
like flammable objects in the area and stuff like that. It's.
Yeah.
But I think the concern I'm trying to express is more that it's like it's a flash and it's done.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
have
It's
18 feet
sustained
of ice
heat.
to get through, so you might be able to burst some of it out, but
Yeah,
ice is pretty tough to break through. You need like an ice pick and start wailing on it, maybe.
Hope's gonna start looking around to see if maybe there are any hatches or anything.
Okay, investigation check.
Crawl spaces. 15.
Okay, so you take an examination around looking for crawl spaces and vents in the ground, maintenance hatches. You find one little maintenance hatch, but it really doesn't go anywhere. It's not a passage, more so just that there's these vent covers that have electronics, probably related to the maintenance of the rail cars on it. You don't see anything resembling a path down below. Up above is another matter.
Okay.
You notice that there's some ventilation,
Cool.
some aluminum ventilation running up above into the area above the door. It's also covered in ice, but not as thick. It's also 60 or 70 feet up, so you have to find a way to get up there. Take off the thinner part of the ice, but definitely looks a lot easier to circumvent than the main door.
Cool.
Well, I
Guys, look up. Look, we could try that.
I could float up there.
And melt the ice.
Yeah. I don't know with what. I'd need. Maybe I could carry Stanley cradle style up there, and he could just touch it with his magic hot hand.
Yep, I don't think you actually know how any magic works.
Actually, I don't know if I can carry anyone in flight. Can I? I don't know. I'd have
Sure.
to look it up. Can I?
You can carry up to your weight limit.
Oh, well, Stanley's smaller than me.
So what's your weight limit? Strength times 15, right?
Yeah. So let's
How
see.
much do you weigh, John, with all your items?
Let's find
Stanley,
out.
I mean, not John, Stanley.
All right, Stanley weighs 188 pounds and carrying 43 pounds on top of that.
Oh, well, I weigh. My strength is. I only have 11 strength, so that's like what, 55?
So 11 times 15, yep, calculated by 0 times 15. You can carry your encumbrance starts at 165.
Oh,
So once you have a little bit more on top of you, then you would fly at half speed. And then once you had too much on you, you would have not be able to move at all.
okay,
So
I mean,
with your own
Nash,
equipment plus Stanley, you probably won't be able to fly.
okay.
You're shooting fire all the time. Why don't you just blow up the ice and go up there yourself?
I don't know. I thought it would be fun. We could do something together for once. Always
Yeah,
trying to
he-
find a way for me and Stanley to find common ground, but no, even the little idea to go up there and do that, no good. Well, that's fine, and I'll start to rise up by myself with a flaming fist clenched tightly on one hand, and I'll rise up there ready to blast that thing with a firebolt, not ball.
You're gonna firebolt it.
Yeah, I mean ball would be dumb, right?
All right, make an attack roll.
But cool.
It would be cool. But,
It'd be pretty awesome.
all right, wait, are we doing this for? Does that thing need to have hit? Does it need to try to save?
It's an attack roll. You need to attack roll it.
This inanimate block of ice. Hold on. All right, that would be plus. So that puts it at. Oh, come on, die, fall. 16 looks like.
Okay, so you're able to hit it. Roll damage dice, please.
All right, this is 2d10 plus a third d10. Okay, so 3d10. Oops. 1, 2, 3. That'd be 25.
Okay. Wow. Really?
It was a
That's crazy.
strong firebolt. My
Really?
goodness.
25 for
Seven,
firebolt? That's crazy.
7, 9, 9.
You roll 3d8 or 2d8 now?
3d8. Or no, 3d10.
3d10.
Yeah, because I
Wow.
get 2d10.
You get
standard.
3d10 at the 11th level. So it's
No,
2d10.
I get 2d10 at 5th, don't I?
No. You get 2d10 at 5th. You get 3d10 at the 11th, but you're 8.
Oh, I screwed that up then. Let's take.
So you over. Like, that sounds too strong for firebolt.
That was a really good firebolt.
Wait a minute. Why does it say 2d10 damage?
I mean, look at your sheet. It says 2d10. I don't think you have any other bonuses.
Oh, no. Yeah, never mind. Hold on.
You, I don't know.
Let me reroll.
You
That's
get
still
a
not
bonus
bad.
if you
14.
do acid damage.
Double sevens, 14. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you fire the bolt at it, and you take a chunk off, and all the chunks of ice come sprinkling down in your face because you shoot it up, but they don't damage you. You make a little, in.
I
what's
should
the
be
word I'm
parallel
looking
with it because I flew up there, floated up
Floated
there.
for? Yeah, you flew up and fired up. You took some pieces off, and so it shattered it. You didn't get very far into it. The thing about the fire damage is that while it's effective against the ice, it needs a sustained source of heat in order to be able to melt it or make significant gains on it. So your hit knocks off a chunk, but there's still 3 feet of ice between you and the ventilation that you can crawl into.
All right, well, I'll shout down that that's what happened, that I need more. We need more heat. So how thick is
All right,
it?
you said it was between 60 and 70, Bo. That's the difference in me being able to hit it or not. Which is
70,
it?
so slightly out of range.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it easy for you. You might be able to climb on someone and be able to reach them.
Morel, you want to give me a boost?
I'll overhead press you.
All right.
Are you able to take his whole weight?
Oh yeah, I got it.
It's strong lizard.
20 strength. He's much stronger. Okay, so you climb on top of it. I'll need a acrobatics check from both of you, please.
Might that be athletics for me, or is he flipping?
You've got to help him balance on top of you, so I prefer
Very well.
acrobatics. You can easily take the strength side of things.
It's a 13 for me.
17.
Okay. With some wobbling, Stanley, you're able to get on top of his shoulders, and now you're standing upright on top of his shoulders.
All right. Point my hand up
What are you eating?
and heat metal on the vent.
All right. So the vent begins glowing white hot, and it begins raining on top of you guys.
Yep.
As it begins to sweat and water begins to drip down. As it drips down, hits the surface, it starts to freeze over again. But then it was a full torrent, and Nash is up there too, trying to do his firebolt thing. So you're now getting rained on as well.
Great. As long as this doesn't cause damage, I'll be all right.
There's no damage, but it's all wet and very cold. You're gonna catch hypothermia, young man.
My underwear's off at this point, right? It's not blowing.
No, it's on. You need it to fly.
No, what I mean,
Underwear's always on.
I don't mean off like off my body. I mean off like not blowing air on me.
No, it's on. You're currently being air conditioned, and you're flying. If you turn it off, you will fall to the ground.
All right, it can't. It has to run to float. Well, I'm gonna go back down then, because I don't want to freeze to death.
All right. you're definitely very cold because the air conditioning's going. You run back down, you turn it off, you're no longer floating. Eventually a piece breaks off and it goes to fall down on everybody. You have to make a dexterity save, everyone, in order to avoid damage. Stanley can't make a dexterity save because he's on top of Varel.
14.
12.
11.
All right, now I'll need you to make an acrobatics check as Vorel dodges out of the way very suddenly to avoid the falling ice. You need to maintain your balance, sir.
It's a 21.
All right, you do it easily. It's like he's a feather upon your shoulders. He's just always knows the exact spot where to stand, where to shift his weight, and you guys run together without slipping on the ice and without hitting any of the chunks hitting you. And a big chunk falls off, and it opens up in the vent, and you see a large steam of cold air just sort of blow out of the vent. It looks like there's nothing in the vent, and that one might be able to climb inside.
All right, Nash, get up there.
Why me?
Because you've got magical floating underwear.
Great. I'll turn it on. Start flying up
His
there.
underwear is removable. If one was more brave than Nash, we could wear his underwear.
Hey, Stanley, you want to wear my sloppy seconds?
Definitely not.
Definitely freezing.
All right, I'll float up there and get in. If I
I
can
don't think
fit.
that means what you're thinking.
No, I know what it means, but it's definitely something he would say. Something Nash would say.
Nash,
It's definitely something that.
It is. It's totally something he'd say.
Nash, you are, as much as I hate to say it, injured, and I don't think you're the best candidate for this mission.
Oh well, you just said get up here.
No, you said do I want your sloppy seconds? Which,
Oh,
No,
ignoring the flaws with what you just said, does raise a good point that you shouldn't be the one to go up there.
okay. I'll take your word for it.
So take off the magical floating underwear, please.
All right. I'll step out of my skivvies. I want them back though. I say as I do it.
We could trade them off, yeah? We all get up
And-
there?
I am prestidigitating them 5 times.
Great.
That's very true.
You prestidigitate them 5 times, and you do get some of the stink off, but it's almost like there's magically imbued stink from his cancerous tumors that
All
you
right,
just
I
can't get.
prestidigitate them 3 more times, and then for the final prestidigitation act, I change to create a pleasant smell.
Okay, so there's a perfume smell over top, but you definitely do see the little skid mark in it.
And like
It seems to me-
Superman,
it has magical resistance, this skid mark.
like Superman, they are going on the outside.
Yeah, okay, so you put them on over top of all your nice clothes.
Well,
You
that's
feel
kind of what
cool
mine are.
in
They're
air
on my
condition.
they're on my bandages. Sorry, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a skid mark of shit. It's a skid mark of like tumor stuff
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
that leaks through the bandage.
Sure. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he doesn't
It
care.
changes nothing about what I just did.
Yeah.
Tumor juice.
Ugh.
I pressed the digitator one more time. Up and down.
All right, but you now feel like as though you can float, and you feel air conditioned. It's too cold, considering it's already cold here.
Okay. It's fine. Up we
Alright.
go.
You begin floating up. Takes a little second to get used to it, because the source of the movement is your crotch, and not like your feet or your arms or something like that. Like a seat that can move you up. It's more like sitting rather than flying, really. Anyways, you float to the top, and you are now close to the vent.
All right. I'm gonna climb in, and I imagine
Vent
with
is very
the
cold.
AC and all of that, it's getting super cold.
The vent to the touch, it chills your skin to the touch, almost to the point where like your skin's almost sticking. You can kind of see ice forming as you like go to look inside. You see that the passageway is open, but you already begin to see ice forming on the sides of the vent. It might not be open for long. Down the
Ooh.
vent, you see nothing but vent.
Okay.
Just leads past where the doorway was.
I'm going to, as quickly as possible, because I can't imagine they're going to do me any favors ACing me, pull the underwear off and make my way down the vent as quick as I can. Oh, and drop them. Drop the underwear down. To
Okay,
the,
so
the
do you have
folks
half
below.
your body in the vent, half of it out, kind of thing?
Yeah, and we're going to use the...
There's not room
so,
to get comfortable. Yeah.
it's fine. I'm mage hand to pull the underwear down.
Okay. So you just see,
Little
all you
magic
see is
hand.
Stanley's legs and like diplomacy on his belt hanging out, and he just mage hands the underwear off and drops them down onto the ground. He climbs into the vent. And the underwear hit. They drop on Ash's head.
Let they land where they may.
All right, and I'm crawling fast
Alright.
as I can.
You hear Stanley crawling through the vent.
All right, Hope will go to grab them, and she'll pull them up, but they get stuck under her tail.
Yeah, they're stuck
So-
under her tail.
She'll try to float with them kind of on.
Yeah, they're still on pretty snugly and still work, but yeah, there's a little part where they don't cover your butt because your tail's in the way.
You could put them on backwards, like because they got the little flap, right? Like Whitey Tighties.
Oh, that's right.
But then
you
you'd
could
have
do
to
that.
go. I mean, this is a long tail. It's like Varel's tail, so you'd have to start with the opening at the end of the tail, and then like get your legs in there somehow. The logistics.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, you'd have to lie on the ground to get them on, basically, just to.
You are
figure it
all
out.
limited by your understanding of clothing, of which I have none. Wear it like a shirt.
Hope's already halfway up.
All right. Hope's already
Wear it like
begin
a-
making her way up. All right, you see the vent, and you see Stanley sort of crawling in the vent. He looks back at you. The vent is cold to the touch.
Cool. I'll get in securely. I guess what, 2 hands and then 1 leg, and then I'll shimmy off the underwear and pass it down.
Okay, you shimmy off the underwear. The underwear floats down, lands on Nash's head.
Great.
And I'll start following Stanley through the vent.
All right, who's next?
I mean, who's left? Oh, I guess Pharrell's left.
Pharrell and you.
Pharrell, do you want to try this?
I'm afraid your clothing may be damaged by my wear. Please, you first.
Well, okay. I don't want to ruin these things. We could try your way, where you wear it on your head or something. It shouldn't matter where you wear it. See if you
Get up in the vent!
see if you float at all if you put this on your head. And I'll just go. I'll kind of like put it over the top of his lizard head a little bit.
These are elastic, no? And I'll go to put it on Aladdin style, like where, down one arm and then put my other arm through the other hole. So I have kind of like a tiny vest.
All right, it locks into. You feel it lock into place, and you feel with your will that you'd be able to will yourself into float, and you sort of float a foot off the ground.
That's
But it's weird. You're kind of being pulled by the back of your nape, like you would a youngling, perhaps. You'd bite the back of their neck to move them around.
Yeah, I'll put my arms out. If I can carry my weight, I can take Natch. Embrace me, Nash.
All right. That's true. He can totally carry me.
Yeah. All right. So you jump into his arms. How do you like this style? Like,
Yeah,
you
with the
just
legs
embrace
over one
that?
arm and the body up here, and with his arms around my neck. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
like we're crossing
Okay.
the threshold to our honeymoon suite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick open the door.
Yep. I like
All right.
it.
So you float up into the middle of the air that way.
Gone with the wind.
Yep.
With the underwear on your back, Aladdin style, and you move up to the vent. Who goes in first? What do you guys do?
I would lift him in.
You lift him into the vent. The vent's cold to the touch, Nash, but you see Hope and Stanley ahead, traipsing through the vent.
All
and you
right.
follow.
Okay.
Pharrell?
All right, I'll climb in.
All right. As you climb in, you hear a voice call after you. I'm gonna stay out here,
Coward.
says Albert. I'm not used to cold temperatures. This really isn't a place for me. You guys will be okay, right? I'll wait for you here. I don't want to get any colder.
Is it colder in the vent than it is where
years.
he is?
It's definitely colder in the vent. Everything you're touching is like freezing you right now. Everything's ice, and you can feel the ice forming along the vent as everyone makes their way through the vent to the other side where the vent passage leads down.
Freaking Tedna 2.0,
Where does it
this
go?
guy.
No one knows. At least not no one until next week.
Oh.
There will be dungeons. We'll continue.
Yes. Very exciting. We're in a
It's the
vent.
vent, man.
Yeah, it's like it's our own little what's the movie? Die Hard. It's like Die Hard.
Vent server.
Yeah.
Yeah, come to LA, have a few laughs, that whole thing.
Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho, mother effer. Anyway, Bill Clay, that whole thing. Hey, that's great. Next week we'll pick it right up where we did this time. This will be next Sunday, the 25th. So come on back and be a part of that if you want to know how things turn out for our fateful crew. Until then, a couple of quick notes. It's important that people know this. We have a support system. We built it ourselves. It's over at therewillbedungeons.com. You just click on the link and boom, you're in. And there's lots of levels you can get, including ones that send you physical stuff, digital rewards, bonus shows, all sorts of stuff that you get over there that you can't get any other way. And there's even a way for you just to support the show at a very low level if that's all you want to do, which we would love. If you like what we're doing, please head on over there and show your support today. That's at therewillbedungeons.com. And the last couple of weeks, I've been able to crank out some art based on some of the stuff we do, and I just finished this. I haven't even shown these guys yet, but I did a security monkey that I really like. So if you want a print of that security monkey, that will be in next month's physical and digital rewards. So worth getting. Go check it out. That's at therewillbedungeons.com. I think that's everything. Bo, any final words of wisdom for our listeners before we head on out of here?
No.
All right. Well,
No words.
No words
Just
at all.
Staying here.
Fantastic. That will do it for
Be
us
good.
then.
Don't go to hell, or you'll meet Albert in the Chamber of Endless Anuses.
Freaking hate that guy. Next week we'll be back in the big anus. That is the show. So be here then. That's 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Eastern time, each and every Sunday for There Will Be Dungeons. For me, for Bo, for John, for Kyle, for Kristen. We'll see you next time. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Yeah.